Hey guys, it's Carrie from Garden Rudiments. This morning, I'm finally planting up my fountain. Stay tuned. There are a few things I want to talk about before I get started with this video. The noise that you hear behind me is a backhoe or a little bobcat, whichever one they are. There's a lot of construction work going on in our subdivision. If I wait till that construction work is done, I'll never get a video done. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm sorry that y'all have to put up with that noise. I don't like it either. So this fountain, I'm gonna plant it up with all my succulents, and there's a few things that I've been thinking about as I'm getting ready to do this. Can you see the shadow? The areas that are in shadow right now, it's about 15 till 10 Central Standard Time. I'm facing south at this moment, so this fountain faces south. This is the way that I want everybody to look at it, is coming from the south. This is east, so the sun has got 2/3 of the way up in the sky. West, my house does block the evening sun, so this will be in shadow after actually about 12 o'clock. But right now you can see the shadow in the morning is being cast on this west side. So my plants that need to have a little more less bright sun, I'm going to put on this side. But this shadow will work its way around, and as the sun gets up overhead, this back is a little more shadowed, which is on the north side. So I'm thinking of these plants as I place them, what likes the least sun I can put up in here close to the column. Same thing under here. This is shadowing this quite a bit. So I'm really liking this, especially since I can't use my market umbrella, which was my plan. I still haven't bought a new one. You may have seen the video where, and I made a video about my market umbrella falling and knocking all of my fountain over. And I still don't feel like we've got the fountain back just like it's supposed to be. It does seem to be tilted in areas that it shouldn't, but it's not broken. But up on top, I went ahead and planted the sedum that had gotten crushed when the fountain fell over and knocked all this over. So these were the plants that got crushed. They're fine. They're actually already putting on new growth and kind of spreading. But this is just sedum, and I thought it would take the full sun, okay? And I'm gonna leave this here and just let it kind of cascade over the top. Last night, I got out here and I watered all of my plants, and I pulled all of them that I want to be in this video and that I want to put in the fountain. Anytime you're transplanting any plant, whether it's a succulent or tomato plants, go ahead and water them first. Let them get a good drink, let them be hydrated, so that it's not such a shock to their system to be transplanted. In the fountain, I made up my soil mixture yesterday. I have 2 bags of Miracle Grow cactus mix. I put a half a bag of perlite, and I put several handfuls of crushed granite. So I want this to be a well-draining mix. I don't have any hardware cloth up and under here to keep this from getting clogged. I don't think it will. It's always drained good. These 2 areas have. This was the area that did not drain. So there is an opening here where water comes out from the top. I put a piece of hardware cloth here, right here, to keep that from getting plugged with dirt and soil. I have a hole here in the fountain to allow drainage, so I put a piece of hardware cloth over that hole so that it doesn't get stopped up. I also cleaned the fountain with soapy bleach water and rinsed it good, and then just let it set out and dry before I put the soil in there. I think there's going to be plenty. I went ahead and wet this down yesterday just so it would be moist, and it would also keep the wind from blowing out any of the finer particles, because we really had a lot of wind yesterday, and I can already tell it's getting up again today, and we're supposed to have record highs of 94 degrees today, and we're not even in the middle of May yet. So that's how our weather's been. We've either been very cool, and then now we're going straight into summer temperatures. Okay, all my plants have been acclimated to the outside. They've actually been out at least 3 weeks here on my back porch. So they've been getting good morning sun. They've been watered well. They're all growing. I'm very pleased with how they look, and I'm just ready to get them into this and let them start growing in this new environment, because they really need to come out of their cups. Some of them needed to have been transplanted a long time ago. They're still in little 2-inch cups that I bought them in, and they haven't done real good in those. Anytime you buy something in the little small cups, you need to transplant it into something bigger. I also have a lot of plants that I've grown from leaves, just propagating them from leaves or from cuttings. So they're ready to be transplanted, and I'm ready for them to come out of their little containers. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to start with my largest plants and think of the design that I want and where I want them placed, where they will get the most sun or the least sun. So that's one of the main things that I'm looking at. I'm also thinking about my color scheme. I have a lot of little plants that have a bluish green color. I want to kind of group them and put them together because they just make a great impact that way. I'm also, because this is such a big planter, and none of my plants are really big except these two I have here in the front. It's very hard to find a large succulent here in my area. I actually got the 2 largest ones at Kroger's, believe it or not, before Christmas. So I'm going to use the 2 largest ones as a starting point. I don't know that I would have enough plants to actually fill this up. I might, but I think it's very doubtful. So I'm going to kind of plant it in ribbons, and then I'm going to use crushed granite as a top dressing for them. I hope you like this video, and I'm going to speed it up and get done with this project. Something I'm also using that you might see here in the shot, this is my Gorilla cart. I use this for photography, I use it for gardening. It's a great cart, I highly recommend it. I use it for everything, and it saves my back. So I want my largest plants to kind of be planted on an angle. I want the tops to be seen. I want you to be able to look down in the plant. And then I just want to be able to pull my soil up around it so that it's secure, so the birds can't pull it out of its place, which I'm afraid might happen to some of them. And my husband was worried that I didn't have enough soil in here, but I think it's going to be plenty. I don't want it to wash out, you know, if we get a belly gusher or rain, and also just watering it, you know, you'll see that it's very easy to get ahead of the drainage and not be able to let the water drain out and then the soil wash up over the edge. And I think as I get all of these in here, there'll be plenty that, you know, the dirt will get pushed up, and I'll probably have too much soil. And as I go along, I'm going to be checking these plants to make sure I don't see any mealybugs, spider mites, aphids, anything that might get in here and kind of impact their health. So I have been saving my string of pearls just for this project. I'm hoping they do really well here. what I just did. But of course my plants have been outside. When I pulled the plant out of this pot, there was a big old red toad in there. It scared me to death. So I'll bleep out the little cuss word that I said. And my husband's gonna come out here and save the frog. It's a toad, not a frog, excuse me. I am so glad to have finished this project today, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. Absolutely no problems. I think everything worked out well with the plants, and I used everything that I had. If I could have had more, I would have stuck them in here too, so it took a whole lot of plants. I ended up top dressing the bottom layer with the crushed granite also. This was a fun project. I hope you like it, and I hope you'll leave me some comments on this section. Thank you for watching Garden Rudiments, and I'll see you next time.